Hello again. In this session we will learn different techniques on how to model up a ventilation system in MagiCAD. I have partly modeled a system here in this model, in this file, which can be downloaded from the course page. If you don't have this one, just give me a message and I can provide it for you. We'll start with the the connection of the ventilation system to this ventilation fan that we imported previously. As we see here, the ventilation unit is offset compared to the ducts we are going to connect it to. If we look at 3D view here, I go into ventilation 3D ventilation view here in Project Browser, and have a look at it. If I see here that it is, the first thing we have to do is to make this aligned with the ducts. So I go back to first floor. I start by creating a duct from this ventilation unit. I'm not sure if this is the supply air or the return air. If I look at the actual, I can go back here. If I look at the actual piping here, or the ducts, this is the supply and this is the extract. You can see that from extract air here, and we see that from the supply air. So this nozzle in the bottom here has to be the supply air, and that has to be the extract air. If that's not the case, we have to either find another ventilation unit to use, or we can actually do changes to this one. But remember that we have to check with the supplier if that's possible. On the other side here we have the that is the supply air, or what is it? Sorry, it is the intake air on this side. And the out, we see that is in here, and that's out. We also see that all the connections are 1200 times 600 millimeters, the wide and the height of it. So make sure that all nozzles, that all the ducts that we are connecting here has to be 1200 times 600. It's rectangular connections. That has to be fitted into the ventilation unit. So what we can do is to start by going into the first floor, start to make we try to use the supply air. It has to be rectangular. The diameter, it's not rectangular duct. We use this one, rectangular duct or rectangular duct default. Width has to be 600, width has to be 1200, height must be 600. we will see if that is wrong. When you meet this point here, connector point, we choose then the supply air. You see that that was correct. We see now that we get a warning. The problem is that we probably are not in the right height for this nozzle. So what we have to check is the height up to the nozzle. I have made a section for that. We can just double click on that, or we can open it in we can go to sections in the sections under sections here. And then we will see the height of the actual height. And we see the height is 1500 millimeters. So unless we use that as the height, we probably, no, that's not the one, this is the one. What we can do is to do the modeling in this section. That might be much easier, because then we always meet the and here we see we have to change height and width. Go for 600 there, and the height shall be 1200, like that, and we see that we are now good to go with this one. We do the same with the outlet nozzle. Now that's the return nozzle. We have to change it up here to 600 times 1200, like that. And we see that that has the wrong connection. It has been blue. Go to properties. We see that the system type here is system supply air. We have to change that to extract air. And now we see that it has the same color as the one we have here. Another problem is that the height of this must be aligned with the height of the ventilation unit. We can change the ventilation unit. We have to change the height of this duct. We also see that the duct is probably too big or too small. It is important that these two are the same size. But the first is to align the ventilation unit with the ducts. Then we go to floor one, and then we probably just move it like this. We see it is aligned when we see the blue line there. We can also move it a little bit back like that. So we have this is the extract nozzle, and the supply nozzle is below. Let's see now if that has this right connection height. It has the right dimensions. We see it is 1200 by 600, but the height is probably too low. So go back to the section here, and to align that we can just drag it up like that, and there we are. To connect those, like that, and we are connected to the ventilation unit. For the supply air, we see that we have a width of 500 and a height of 1150. First we do is to change that to 600, and we can do that by just changing that to 600 and changing that one to 1200. Next thing is to move it upwards to the center there. And now we should be able to connect it by just drag it into the other one, like that. The warnings just say that the tap must be attached to the duct. Just approve that. Okay, now we see we have attached the inlet and the outlet for the ventilation system. To connect the other ones, we have the let's go to section. It's easier to do it in sections. You will probably experience that yourself. To create the duct, just press the symbol there. Make sure that you have the right height and width. You see here is wrong, so we go over here. Just change that to 600 by 1200, like that. And this is the intake. We just connect it like that. The outlet nozzle here is actually on the top. Same here, we have to change width and height. Change it to 600 and change that one to 1200. We can maybe we should take it up like that, and yeah, I haven't looked at how to do that, but maybe we should just take it through the roof. Okay, now we have connected the I'll see that this has the wrong that is supply air. That should be discharge, yeah, and see what that is. That is also supply air. That should be intake air. So make sure that you have the right connections. Now we have intake, we have the inlet, we have extract, and we have here the discharge air. We can go to 3D ventilation and just have a look at that. We see the ventilation system is connected to the ventilation unit. So far so good. The next we can do is to start by or maybe we should, before we go on by modeling ducts and other components, I'll just show how we can put on a ventilation resistant louver or external louver. We see here we have some actually from the data set that's already available. If we find the 1200 by 660, that should be suitable for this ventilation outlet here. Select there, then we can choose end of duct, and we see that this is just placed outside here. Apply. We should also have something on the top of this ventilation discharge here. However, it should be it shouldn't go up like this. We should have the routing out through the wall. I'll show how to correct this. We'll just mark the duct, drag it down like this, and be sure that there is enough length to make another one. Then we create similar and just draw it like this. If it's not suitable, we will have, let's see, if we check the error message here, we see that the routing solution failed because there is no default fitting type specified, or the fitting cannot be found in the project. Ensure the fitting is loaded into the project and try again. The problem here is that this specific duct that we have used now, we see we have used a rectangular duct default. That's not set up with the proper parts in the dataset. So what we have to do now is to change it. We then go in and just mark it like this. We can change it to a rectangular with the radius span or flange span. Or if you choose that, I will do the same again. Create similar like this. We'll see that we are now able to make a duct that is going through the wall. We can lower this down to so it goes out through the wall like that. We can also reduce it so it's fitted into just in line with the wall. Let's see now if we have both. There it is. Now we can attach an intake device or a hatch or something like that. I can go to 3D view here and look at it. We see that we have the intake here and the outlet there. If we are going to fit a let's look at that. Looks good. Okay. See if we find something here to install. If I go to outdoor exhaust, I'll see here if we have something. This one is available. Let's see the size of it. This is the size is 1200 by 600. We see that the dimensions here. So if we go to install product again, exhaust 600 by 1200. Yeah, 1155. Let's see if this one is. Oh, that we'll try the 1200 by 660. See if that will fit. Select, and then we put it on the end of the duct like that. Apply. That's good. Well, I'm going back to 3D view here and see if that is, maybe it should have been a little bit. Let's see here. It should be out to, if I use a line here, it should be able to extend it like that. And we see in 3D view that we have intake and outlet. It should actually have been on the other side, so we don't risk to have the outlet air into the inlet again. But you can try to route that yourself by, for example, route it out through the wall over here on the other side, maybe. Okay, that's all for now. See you next session then.